All right, good morning, everybody. It is the morning of the 24th, September 24th. I meant to do this yesterday, but I got tied up with some personal things at the house, so I just brought everything into school today, and I'll just do it before the start of class. So, as you may notice, I've got some chicken thighs here. Now, mine are bone-in and skin-on chicken thighs. Yours are boneless, skinless. So, I thought I'd just take the opportunity to kind of show you how to debone a chicken thigh. So if you'll notice, there's a bone that runs right here, right down the center, from here to there. What you want to do is just take a tip of a small boning knife, or even a utility knife, and kind of cut around it a little bit. Just small little cuts on either side. And then what I do is, once I've cut down the side, is I'll actually just kind of pinch my finger up underneath it. Okay, like that. That way I can get my knife up under there and I can kind of scrape the meat off of that chicken thigh bone and cut it away. I'm just going to set it just right there for now. And then the skin just easily just kind of peels off. As I say that, I'm struggling to get the skin to peel off. There we go. All right. Just have to get up underneath it and pull the skin off. Just like that. And then yours probably looks very similar to this in regards to, extra fat that might be on there. So I want you to trim back a little bit of that fat. Okay? Just like that. So now I have what should resemble or look like yours. Let me just kind of scrape that off. There we go. Okay, so there's one. Here's the other, right down the middle. Then down either side, just exposing that bone. And then pinch up underneath. And scrape down, remove. There's one. Peel the skin off. I saw a really cool video on YouTube. This guy took chicken thighs and he stuffed them with jalapeno poppers. So he made some jalapeno poppers with, of course, jalapenos, cream cheese. He stuffed them. He put it in the center. He rolled the thigh up like this. Okay, with the popper inside. And then he wrapped them in bacon. And then he roasted them in the oven and then glazed it with barbecue sauce. And I have to admit, it looked really good, and I might try that this weekend. And if any of you give it a try, and I think you should, let me know how it goes. Let me send me a chat or a message. Even if you are in front of the house at that point, kind of let me know if you did that. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Get rid of this. And I'm just going to trim up a little bit of fat. There we go. Okay. Now we just have to take our thighs and cut them into bite-sized pieces. Kind of a little bit like that lamb stew. Or should I say lamb curry. We're going to cut up those thighs. Okay? Into just bite-sized pieces. So I just kind of cutting the thigh itself into thirds. Okay? And then cutting each of those, depending on the piece, either in half, like the center here, or the two ends, which are thicker, I'll cut those into thirds. So again, I'm going to cut right here, this bigger end. 2, 3. Cut it again. 2. Okay. And then again into thirds. So a lot like the lo mein that we did. All right. Now let me wash my hands real quick. So I'm going to step off camera. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to get rid of these bones. These could be used if you saved them to make a broth or a stock with. A little pot, cover with water, a few slices of carrots, celery, little onions, let it simmer for about 4 hours, making sure that it doesn't reduce, and you've made your own chicken broth. So, you know, that is certainly an option. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands. All right, everybody. So today, remember, you're going to be working with chicken. So it's very, very important that, you know, you maintain good sanitation practices throughout the lesson. Okay? All right. So there's my chicken. Excuse me. And I've gone ahead and just kind of taken the liberty at this point to get my other mise en place done. All right? The lemon zest, you'll see when we do the rice video today. The curry powder, ginger, garlic, a little bit of oil for cooking, my chopped cilantro, my coconut milk. You want to shake that can very vigorously before you open it, okay? And then my vegetables. In your bag, you know, you've got some onions, bell peppers, both red and green, carrots. But I had some extra celery in my house, so I went ahead and I sliced up some celery to put in there. If you have some zucchinis or squash or something like that as well too, you know, don't be afraid to utilize that. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Let me just kind of move things around just a little bit. It's not my normal setup, so I'm just going to move a few things off to the other side so I can get that camera in there. Let me just make sure that it is positioned properly. There we go. All right, that should do it. Okay, I have salt and pepper off camera as well too. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started. I'm going to turn on my burner. Okay, I've chosen to use just one of the school woks that we have right here. I've got a little plate that I'm going to put my chicken in because we're going to cook the chicken first, like we did with the lo mein, okay? So I want something to be able to put my chicken in, and then I'm going to saute my vegetables. So it's kind of a hybrid a little bit. Yes, it's influenced by India, but it is also kind of a stir fry, if you will, as well, okay? So we're just waiting for this to get hot, just kind of checking as I normally do. Add my oil and make sure that I have enough to cover the bottom and come up the sides. It's probably a little too much. I'm going to very carefully pour just a little back. There we go. All right, now I'm going to wait for this to get hot, and then we will throw in our chicken. Then we'll season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. So there we go. It's now come to the smoke point. Be very careful as always. And place your chicken into your pan. A Dutch oven will work, you know, just fine, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever you have around the house to cook would be just okay. Would be okay, not just okay. It will be fine, okay? So, little salt, little pepper. And we're just gonna start to cook that. Nicely seasoned wok. I took the wok this morning. I got here early and I properly seasoned this wok, so nothing will stick. As I cook that, I want to just keep moving it a little bit. There we go. We get some nice color on there. Excuse me, everyone. Nice, you can see we got some nice color starting to develop on that chicken. As I've always said, make sure that you got a nice hot pan, okay? Turn that exhaust fan on in your house and make sure that, you know, you get rid of that smoke. All right, so at this point, I want to do a couple things. I want to add just a little bit of ginger. So I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of ginger just to scent up that chicken a little bit. And I'm going to add just a teaspoon of curry powder. Also to just kind of get, again, a little bit of that curry powder into the chicken itself. Okay, just like that. Well, you guys should have, or should have gotten, plenty of curry powder. I added just a little bit of ginger there as well too. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and take that chicken out. Going to turn down my heat a little bit so I don't burn the bottom of my pan. Okay. All right, very good. All right, so we're going to take that out and just set it in my bowl. I got some nice color on the bottom. That's what I want. Again, some more fawn. And now I'm going to add my vegetables. And I'm just going to stir fry my vegetables. Now I really want to kind of turn my heat down a little bit. And this is where it becomes less stir frying at this point. And more just a gentle saute, okay? Now, because all my vegetables were hard, you know, the carrots were hard, the peppers, the onions, of course, the celery, I've chosen to, turn my heat up just a little bit, just put them all in at one time. If I had something like squash, which is a little softer, that might go in, you know, towards the end of the cooking process versus, you know, now. We learned from our lo mein lesson that, you know, we stagger our vegetables. I'm going to add a little more oil to the bottom of my pan, about another 2 teaspoons. The pan's a little dry. And then you'll just cook your vegetables to the degree of doneness, you know, which you guys and your families like. I like mine, as you guys know, a little on the crunchier side. Not raw, but I don't like them soggy. So I'm not going to cook mine quite as long as maybe, you know, some of you guys may choose to. But take your time, you know, no rush here. Especially, you know, with the fond of the chicken, you don't want that to burn in the bottom of your pan. Just moving this around. Okay, all right, there we go. If I want to see, you know, I can kind of pull one out. Okay. We're about a quarter of the way done for me. So at this point, and that was about, I don't know, 4 minutes. At this point, I'm going to add my coconut. Then I'm going to rinse the can out with a little water. I filled the can up about 25% of the way, so I filled it up to about right there. Just kind of giving a little swirl, little swish, and I'm going to add that. All right, so you can see now it's changing color. It's picking up that fawn from the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to add the rest of my ginger and my garlic. That was my garlic. Here's my ginger that I have as well too. Gonna turn this up, get it to a boil. You're gonna have to excuse me. I don't have any rice to serve this over because I ate all mine with my lamb curry last night for dinner, and I totally forgot to save some to show you. But you know, it really will be no different than the lamb curry. Okay, so sorry, I don't have any rice to serve this over. All right, so this is coming to a boil. That's what we want. I'm gonna add some more curry powder. So I added 1 teaspoon earlier. There's 1 more. And 1 more for a total of 1 tablespoon. And I'm just gonna kind of let that come to a boil. All right, stir that in. Then I did forget, all right, to get a fork, or not a